Hey y'all, it's Ashley. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I have got my August wrap up. As of right now, it's August 30th. I am in the middle of a couple of books right now, but honestly, I just want to take my time, so I'm probably not going to finish them by today or tomorrow. Before we continue the video, if you are not already, please consider subscribing to my channel and make sure you hit that bell notification so you're getting notifications when I upload. Without further ado, let's get into it. Some of the books that I completed in the month of August was The Last Final Girl by Stephen Graham Jones. I give this a 4 out of 5 stars. We are thrown into this high school area where a majority of the girls are in there are final girls, or if you don't know what that is, the surviving girl of a horror story, the kind of hero champion who ends up defeating the monster sometimes. The way that this is told is more like in kind of like a cinematic. I listened to it on audiobook and it was really cool. I actually felt like I was listening to a movie. It was different, that's for sure, and it might not be everybody's cup of tea, but I really enjoyed it. Then I read Night Pleasures by Sherrilyn Kenyon. Here lately, I've been reading quite a bit of scary stories, and while most of the time I can handle it, I have to break it up by reading some other genre, aka romance, cozy mysteries, etc. So I have lately been in a romance genre kind of mood. Night Pleasures is a paranormal romance, and boy is it steamy. I'm going to read you the synopsis, but this is the first book in the Dark Hunter series. In this book, there is much of a Roman flavor. That's not the right word either, but you got what I'm trying to say. See how it all began. Have you ever wanted to know what it's like to be immortal? To journey through the night, stalking the evil that preys on humans? To have unlimited wealth, unlimited power? That is my existence, and it is dark and dangerous. I play a hero to thousands, but I'm known to none, and I love every minute of it. Or so I thought, until one night when I woke up handcuffed to my worst nightmare, an accountant. And no, it's not a TikTok accountant, it's just like a regular crunching numbers accountant. She's smart, sexy, witty, and wants nothing to do with the paranormal. My attraction to Amanda Devois goes against everything I stand for, not to mention human life, but also my very soul. Now I find myself wanting to believe that love and loyalty do exist. Even more disturbing, I find myself wondering if there's any way a woman can love a man whose battle scars run so deep and whose heart was damaged by a betrayal so savage that he's not sure it will ever beat again. Kenyon of Thrace. That's all it says on Goodreads. But I gave this I don't know why I gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. I enjoyed it, but it was a little too tropey for me. Now that I think about it. Then for the 24-hour readathon that I do with Stacy, Yolene, and Brandy, we read Magic Bites by Ilona Andrews. I probably said that wrong. This reminded me a lot of Patricia Briggs type of stories. This one is a mercenary type, and I thought that the world was pretty cool, but it was just too, I don't know, for me, it wasn't for me. I know just because it wasn't for me doesn't mean you won't like it. So if you do give it a try and you do end up reading it, let me know. I gave it a 2 out of 5 stars, and I'm going to read the synopsis. Atlanta would be a nice place to live if it weren't for magic. One moment magic dominates and cars stall and guns fail. The next, technology takes over and the defensive spells no longer protect your house from monsters. Here, skyscrapers topple under onslaught of magic, were-bears and were-hyenas prowl through the ruined streets, and the masters of the dead, necromancers, driven by their thirst of knowledge and wealth, pilot blood-crazed vampires with their minds. In this world lives Kate Daniels. Kate likes her sword a little too much and has a hard time controlling her mouth. The magic in her blood makes her a target, and she spent most of her life hiding in plain sight. But when Kate's guardian is murdered, she must choose to do nothing and remain safe, or to pursue his preternatural killer. I'm assuming natural or supernatural killer. I don't know. Hiding is easy. but the right choice is rarely easy. So you can see why we got caught up in the synopsis. It is a very eye-catching synopsis. I did like the kind of tension between the alpha of the shapeshifters. So there's like a whole organization of shapeshifters, and then they have this hierarchy. So of course I thought that was pretty cool, and the fact that it wasn't just one specific kind of shapeshifter. They had people who could turn into rats, all kinds of animals. The next book that I read, and I just finished a couple of days ago, is Kings of Paradise by Richard Nell. This book, you know when the book is so good that you're just kind of speechless and you're not sure like how to even talk about it because you believe it won't give it justice? This book did that to me. It's a chunk, but it's so good. Oh my gosh. Two worlds destined to collide. A deformed genius plots vengeance while struggling to survive. A wastrel prince comes of age and finds a power he never imagined. Ruka, called a demon at birth, is a genius born malformed and ugly into the snow-covered wasteland of Ascom. He was spared from death by his mother's love. Now he is an outcast, consumed with hate for those who have wronged him. But to take his vengeance, he must first survive. Across the vast sea in the white sand island paradise of Sri Khan, Kale is fourth and youngest son of the Sorcerer King. At 16, Kale is a disappointment. Same. As the first prince ever forced to serve with low-born marines, Kale must prove himself and become a man, or else lose all chance of a worthy future and any hope to win the love of his life. Only one can be king. Though they do not know it, both boys are on the cusp of discovery. Their worlds and lives are destined for greatness or ruin, but in the changing world where war finds paradise, only one man can be king. This is, I believe, a trilogy. We are actually going to be reading the second book, which is Kings of Ash. I will be hosting that on my channel. I'll have to double check and see when the dates are because I don't have that off the top of my head. But if you are interested and you would like to take a look, go check out the forum. Everything is listed in the calendar. I gave Kings of Paradise a 5 out of 5 stars. Nobody on this planet, in this universe, should be surprised. This is a grimdark fantasy. We actually got to talk with Richard Nell about his book. This man did so much research and he spent so much time on this book. It is so good. It is amazing. The ending. So, and there's just a couple of things in here that just really caught me. I was like, what? After that, I was really in the mood for romance again. I think I'm just in a romance mood right now. I read Neon Gods by Katee Robert. This is the author that wrote Desperate Measures, the book about Jafar and Jasmine, but spicy. Like super spicy. Like so spicy that you're gonna need a gallon of water. It's that spicy. And this book is right up there. The biggest thing that drew me to this book is the fact that it's a Hades and Persephone retelling. So that was really cool, but it's set in modern times. He was supposed to be a myth, but from the moment I crossed the river Styx and fell into his dark spell, he is quite simply mine. Society darling Persephone Demetrio plans to flee the ultra-modern city of Olympus and start over far from the backstabbing politics of the 13 houses. But all that's stripped away when her mother ambushes her with an engagement to Zeus, the dangerous power behind their glittering city's dark facade. With no options left, Persephone flees to the forbidden Undercity and makes a devil's bargain with a man she once believed a myth. A man who awakens her to a world she never knew she existed. Hades has spent his life in the shadows and he has no intention of stepping out into the light, but when he finds that Persephone can offer a little slice of the revenge he spent years craving, it's all the excuse he needs to help her for a price. Yet every breathless night spent tangled together has given Hades a taste for Persephone, and he'll go to war with Olympus itself to keep her close. Anyways, so go get you a copy. That is the end of the books that I read. Now, I'm currently reading a ARC by Chad Nicholas. He is coming out with a book October 5th called Shade. It is kind of like a spooky true crime. All they had to do was catch him. At first, it was just another case, just another serial killer to stop. They had done it countless times before, but this time shouldn't have been any different. Soon days turned into weeks. Desperation set in and the victims started getting younger. What were they missing? Why couldn't they save the victims? They would have given their own lives to stop the monster, to finally put an end to his killing spree. In the end, they almost succeeded, but then 8 months ago, everything went wrong. From the aftermath of one monster, a new one is born, a killer more lethal than they could have possibly imagined, like something ripped straight out of their worst nightmares. With it comes a potential victim struggling with the skeletons in her own closet and the guilt of past mistakes. The longer she waits for the new monster to find her, to kill her, the more she questions if deep down she wants him to. The desperate hunt for a serial killer, an ex-soldier losing his grip on reality, and victim who's not sure she's worth saving come together as past and present. Go check it out. I'm loving it so far. Definitely a good one to read during the month of October. I will also be doing a buddy read of My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen Graham Jones. Oh my gosh, that book was so amazing. I was able to get a ARC and I read it back in June or July, I believe, and I absolutely loved it. It's about finer girls. It's about a lake town and it has so much awesome horror nostalgia. If you are a big fan of the horror genre, and I believe that actually just came out either today or yesterday. That is it. I'm super excited, guys. We're getting closer to spooky season. I will be coming out with a anticipated fall/spooky read video because I can't help myself. I can't help it. I also have created a Ko-fi account. I will link that down below. Please don't feel obligated to visit my Ko-fi. I am actually testing out some products right now that I'm handcrafting. So I will eventually have some products on there for you guys to buy if you're interested. Keep your eye out. So this is one of my test subjects. Can you see that? It says which please, but obviously I'm going to be coming out with Halloween type things. I'm not sure if I want to continue with doing mugs. I only want to do tumblers, but I think I want to start heading more towards t-shirts and tote bags and bookmarks. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing and I'll talk to you guys soon. See you later. Bye.